day one.
On day one, he was like, we should get an alliance. He said, me, Tiffany, Colin, maybe some other people. We call it the Slaughterhouse.
I had that name picked out before I even got here.
And 2 days ago.
No, man.
And I'm just telling.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all having an incredible Saturday. I almost forgot what day it was. Whatever. My name is Miranda, and every single summer I cover all things Big Brother, and this summer is no different. We are covering Big Brother 23 live feed updates and drama. So if you haven't already, make sure you are subscribed. Please like and share this video. It really helps me out a lot. And if you want to donate to my channel, all of that information is in the description box as always. And if you want to follow me on Twitter or TikTok, that info is in there as well. Moving on. So yesterday, Friday, was a pretty big day this week. Quite a bit happened. And I did go live last night on my channel. So if you haven't seen that, check it out. It is the previous video. So go over there, and it's basically just a chit chat live where I talk about the goings-ons and my opinions about it, so on and so forth. Really fun. It was super cool. Definitely doing that more often. Make sure your bell notifications are on. Anyways, so yesterday, like I said, quite a bit happened. Recap though, as we know, Kyland won the head of household, and I was super excited because we were this close, which is way too close for comfort for a Brent HOH. Like, we were just much too close to that happening. It was almost our reality. Could you imagine if Brent won the HOH? Like, oh my god, I don't know if I would have been able to do it. It just would have been way too much. He is just so brosif to me, and like I said last night in my live, he gives me Cody Cauliflower vibes, and I just can't get with him. I never will be able to. But luckily, we dodged a bullet, and Kyland won the HOH, which is so crazy because he is the first black male in 7 years to win the head of household. Like, that is way too long. 7 years? No, that's too much. So it was really exciting. I'm so happy for Kyland. He got pictures and all that jazz. Yesterday was the Wildcard Competition and the nomination ceremony. Yesterday was so busy, really crazy. They had the Wildcard Competition. I'm pretty certain it was Sarah Beth, Frenchie, and Brent who competed in it, and I will get to some of the drama from that later on in this video. But Sarah Beth ended up winning, and she had the option, similar to last week where Christian had the option to save one of his teammates. She had the option to switch teams, and she chose not to. She chose to stay with her team, which is Christian, Alyssa, Xavier, and Sarah. So she chose to stay with them. Very cool for her. And I'll get into some of the other drama regarding the wildcard competition a little bit later, so make sure you continue to watch. And yesterday was also the nomination ceremony. Ugh. But before I get into that, there was a lot of conversations. I really liked how Kyland ended up like keeping his nominations for the most part to himself. He did not really pull a Frenchie, which is basically tell everybody and their brother and their second cousin that they were safe. He didn't invite every single person in the house into an alliance. He didn't make all kinds of crazy promises that were unnecessary and uncalled for and unasked for. And it was just really relieving to see someone handle the HOH the way that Kyland did, especially after French Fries HOH. And we know how crazy that was. So he ended up not having that much time to have conversations, but he was able to have quite a few. He really had to keep his conversations with everybody down to like 7 minutes. Brittany was basically the timekeeper for his conversations, and he ended up having a lot of great conversations. He had one with Tiffany, which was actually the last conversation that they showed on live feeds, and she was basically just trying to get him to nominate Brent and Whitney. She was pleading her case for that. She basically just told him to keep Frenchie like on his toes, keep him as a backdoor option. She presented a really great case. She did lay her cards out there, and so I really hope that Kylan doesn't do her dirty. They are on the same team, so Tiffany and Claire are safe for this week, but I'm just worried about Tiffany in the future, so I really hope that doesn't bite her in the ass. So to the nominations, it's really funny because Kylan was supposed to talk to Frenchie like 2 people after Tiffany, and the production started the nomination ceremony before Frenchie was even able to talk to Kylan, and it was so funny to me because Frenchie was like losing his mind. He knew that he was going to be nominated and he was just losing it. He ended up like going off on Whitney at one point. It was crazy. So nominations, he ended up nominating Frenchie and Brittany. I feel like Frenchie is obvious, but he nominated Brittany because they don't really have any ties together, and she was the only person in the house that didn't throw Frenchie under the bus, and that was concerning to him. You guys, during everybody's talk with Kylan, they threw Frenchie so far under the bus. You would have thought Frenchie was Regina George and the rest of the house were just Katie Herons.
Right up your hairy.
Because people were throwing his ass in front of the bus, under the bus, on top of the bus, to the side, to that side of the bus, through the bus window. Like, they were just throwing his ass all over the place. And it was kind of sad because he really thought that he had created this great alliance that loves him. He still thinks that. He still thinks he has the votes. And nobody is going to vote for him. Like, unless, of course, like, some miracle happens, which I don't think it's going to. Yeah. I don't know. He's going to need a miracle. A miracle from the BB lords, because he's really dug himself a hole. A big hole. And all throughout the night, Frenchie was losing his mind. He was pandering, along with Brittany, to America. He seems to think that America is going to vote for him to have a power. And it's like, bruh. Bruh, if anybody's gonna get a power, it's gonna be Brittany, not you. And it's, you know, at least from America. Like, if production wants to throw him a power, like a power to Frenchie, like, they probably will if they feel so inclined. But you're not getting a power from America, at least not from BB Twitter. And it's, you know, and on top of that, Facebook too. Like, BB Facebook is not a fan of French fry. BB Twitter is not a fan of French fry. Like, I don't know where he thinks he's going to get this power from, but it's not going to be either of those. So there's that. And throughout the night, he was basically just talking about how he is willing to give Brittany his veto. Brent and Sarah Beth at one point talked about how he thinks that he has the votes to stay, which is why he is so comfortable with the idea of giving Brittany his veto if he wins it. Dude is crazy. Dude is crazy. He at one point told Hannah that she's not going to win this game because of the people that she associates with. And it's like, dude, those people, the people that she associates with are the people that you, night one, were wanting to protect. And even last night, talking to Azza about how he is so proud of his game because during his HOH, no minorities or women went home on his watch. He made sure that a dude bro jock meathead went home on his watch, and America could hate him as a player, but he's proud of his game. And I'm like, well, you got one thing right. Like, we are not very impressed with your game, Mr. Sir. Not at all. The only person that had his back last night was Derek F, and that's because Derek F has a crush on him. I know. But he does. He has a crush on him, and Derek F has a crush on Frenchie. And he was basically just talking to Frenchie all throughout the night, like random moments in time. They were talking to each other, and he was trying to support Frenchie, saying that he's never going to be, he's never going to betray him. He's always going to be on his side and support him, and he's going to do whatever it takes to make sure that Frenchie stays. Don't even get me started. So now to get on to some of the wild card drama. Brent and Sarah ended up having a conversation, and Brent basically just asked Sarah if at any point did Frenchie ask you to throw the competition to him. He goes on to say that Frenchie asked Brent to throw the competition, and Brent wanted to know if he asked the same of Sarah. Sarah said basically, so yes, he asked her to throw the competition as well, and Brent got really frustrated because that is not the story that Frenchie is relaying to the other house guests. He's telling the other house guests that he threw the competition to Sarah. And Sarah confirms that that's basically what he's doing and telling her as well, that he threw the competition to her. But Sarah's like, bruh, stop. Stop. You asked me to throw the competition, and Brent just confirmed that he asked the same thing of him. I'm telling you, you guys, this guy is going down on a downward spiral, and it's really sad but really entertaining, and I just and then Brent and Xavier ended up having conversations last night as well, and they basically confirmed that Frenchie is doing the most, and that Frenchie is the reason why Slaughterhouse isn't really working out, or at least Frenchie's end isn't working out. He had, what I'm telling you guys is that Frenchie has gone off the deep end. He like went off on Whitney. He basically exposed the entire alliance to everybody. Yesterday, Sarah Beth exposed to her team that Frenchie told her about Slaughterhouse and how they're involved. Her team tried to act confused, like we're not a part of Slaughterhouse. Craziness. And then I forget who the conversation was with, but at some point there was a conversation where they basically talked about how it made 0 sense, and Hannah confirmed, I think it was between Brent and somebody else, maybe Brent and Xavier, that Hannah confirmed that Frenchie started this all-girls alliance, and Brent and Xavier basically went back and forth with their notes and was like, but Frenchie told us that they started it. And so it was a lot of note comparing throughout the night. I do not think Frenchie will have the votes to stay. Am I sad about that? Nah. You want to know why? Because he's crazy, and he's really like made this whole first 2 weeks way crazy. But then I'm a little sad because if he goes, where's all the crazy going to come from? And it is entertaining. It does provide some laughs. But at the same time, like, I don't know if it's okay for him to be there. I think he maybe should be home, you know? So anyways, let me know in the comment section what you guys think about everything that I talked about in this video. Make sure you subscribe to me, share my video, like it, comment. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!